All right. Well, good morning, everyone. It's another fantastic morning here at Health Plan Markets. It is Monday, May 22nd, 9:02 a.m. And thank you guys for being here live on camera. Very much appreciate everyone taking the time to be on these calls. And as a reminder, these calls are being recorded. So if you have any, if you miss a call or if you have any questions later on or you forgot something, you can go back to our YouTube channel. Just type in YouTube Health Plan Markets. You should be able to find us there. If not, just reach out to a team member. Hopefully you know how to do that already. I'll mention it a couple times. Support at askhpm.com is your one-stop shop for anything that you need, any questions about anything, really, any support issue, just support at askhpm.com. And just trying to make it as easy as possible for you guys to reach out to us and make sure that you know how to get to us. So with that, why are we here? Besides to earn some great commissions and a wonderful living, we're here to improve the lives of our community with affordable health care. And so thank you for being a part of that mission. And this is what drives us every day, right? We wake up and we say, how can we help our community get healthier and live better lives, right? You would want somebody thinking about you that way. So in order to do that, we've got to keep one foot in the classroom and the other one in the field at all times. So with that, let's jump over to our training calendar and we'll see what's on the menu this week. So it's a little light this week, but we're gearing up for AHIP, which is going to be coming out here next month, and then all of the carrier trainings that are going to be rolling in here in June. So take a little brain break, if you will. But I always recommend, that you do at least one training per week. I don't care if you're the president of the United States of America. Do one training a week. I guarantee you will learn something, and it will game up just 1%. If you can get 1% better every week, what will you look like in a year from now? Be 12% better, right? Actually, 52% better. That's amazing, right? So think about that. All right, so every morning we've got Medicare Shop training. So if you do need a quick overview of Medicare Shop, which is our quote and enroll, all-in-one quote and enroll tool for our Medicare Advantage and Medicare Supplement business, you can check that out. That's every day at 8:30. You can click the link there. Tom has been kind enough to load that in for us. Later today, United Healthcare is doing virtual office sessions. So if you have any questions, comments, or rude remarks for United Healthcare, they're available at 4 o'clock today. Also on Friday from 3 to 5. So you can check that out and hopefully get your questions answered with United. Jumping over to tomorrow, May 23rd, our very own Al Clancy will be live in person. For those of you in the Central Florida market, he'll be over at the Panera Bread at 2 o'clock tomorrow on East Colonial Drive. Details are in the calendar. Remember, if you don't have the calendar, just reach out to us and we'll get it synced and linked to your iPhone, iPad, laptop, whatever you need. So that way you know exactly where all the trainings are. But Al Clancy's live in person, guys. This is something that we're trying to start back up again, making sure that you have access to somebody in your market. And I understand some of you may not be so close to Orlando. So we are also doing a virtual office meet with Al Clancy every week, wherever you are in the world. I mean, you can be in Iceland. Doesn't matter. As long as you have a phone and a laptop or an internet connection, you should be able to get a hold of Al. And he's here to help you. Think of him as your coach for compliance, for training. If you get stuck in a rut, don't know what to do, use Al as your traffic controller there. He's a great guy and knows a lot about the business. So again, live in person tomorrow, 2 o'clock at the Panera Bread in East Colonial Drive, or on Wednesday morning, 9:30. It's a virtual coffee. So virtual coffee, meaning that it's not real. No, it's virtual coffee. So you grab your own coffee and you can jump on the chat and talk to Al. That's Wednesday at 9:30 virtually. Also on Wednesday, the 24th, you've got Cigna doing their virtual office session as well. It seems like that's going to be a trend. You want to keep kind of open office, open door. If you have anything that you might need to ask about these carriers, you can do that. And then Wednesday, Devoted is doing their broker town hall. That's at 3 o'clock. So this is a unique event. They've got a lot of cool things happening here, but they want to hear from you. Are they going in the right direction? Are they going fast enough? Do they have the right products? This is your time to really give feedback to some of these carriers And you don't get very many opportunities to do that. So that's Wednesday at 3 o'clock if you're offering devoted, not devoted, devoted there, spelling error. But that's Wednesday at 3 o'clock. Check that out. All right, jumping over to Thursday. Thursday the 25th, Humana at 11 o'clock is doing their Achieve program for supplements. And if you have been kind of lost on supplements or don't know what to do, they're doing a training there. This is a live training for the Central Florida market in Altamont Springs, Florida. That one's live. Check that out. And then they're also going to be doing some virtual ones there. So don't panic. It's coming. But they're this is kind of what they do for beta testing as well. On 12 o'clock on that Thursday, the 25th, you've got Health First doing their Lunch and Learn. And this one's virtual. So anywhere in the world you are, you can jump on. I'm not sure how the virtual lunch works, but you can definitely virtually learn there with Health First. Health First has made a massive change in their branding, in their infrastructures, and it's good to get caught up on these plans when they're making a lot of changes. So jump on that one. If you're offering Health First Florida, you can jump in there. It's a good product. Also, you've got Humana doing a virtual training session on Thursday as well. That one's at noon. Humana is doing one, Service Beyond the Copays. And I really like this one because, you know, many of you may be selling against copays. Well, I can save you $5 here, or I can save you $5 there. But sometimes you get beat on copays. You know, maybe you find a better product because it has their doctors, or it has, you know, their medicines covered better, or it has a benefit that they were looking for instance, transportation. But then when you look down the line, you're getting beat by copays. Okay, I've been beat by copays. I know that, right? So you've got to think of other ways to offer the product, or at least share value in that actual plan, right? Because if you're just going to play the copay game, you're going to lose very quickly, because you don't really know what the client's looking at. I mean, yeah, sure, you know, your plan is $10 more, you know, on a copay versus theirs, or maybe they have a $0 copay and yours is $5 or whatever. You know, you have to be able to translate the true value of the plan and all the other intrinsic values in that plan. So although they might have to pay $5 more to see a specialist, or $10 more to see a specialist, help them understand what they're giving up for $10. And how often are they going to see that specialist, right? You know, oh, I see them once a year. Okay, you're going to give up all the rest of these benefits for $10 a year? That's silly, right? So you really have to know how to sell a plan, or offer a plan, or translate benefits. I like that better. Translate benefits to a member, going beyond just the copays. So Humana's taking the first step in that direction. That training is on Thursday at 12. That's a great one. So check that one out. And then if you are in the Central Florida area, this is the one to be at, guys. This is our drum roll, our monthly advisor meeting. Yes, we're going to start doing these in person every month, up until AEP, of course, and OE. But please join us at Dave & Buster's on International Drive in Orlando. All agents are invited, and this is hosted or co-hosted by Florida Blue. Florida Blue Medicare has made some step-ups here, and they're hosting a couple of things. They hosted our top producer dinner last week, and that was a really nice event at North Italia. It was great to see some new faces and some friendly faces that we've had there for a while. But this one is the advisor training. This one is going to be run by the team here, and we're going to be catching you up on a lot of things. You know, compliance is really hot right now. There's been a lot of changes with CMS. We're going to spend some time on that. We're going to spend some time on some systems and some tech. You know, if you're from out of town and you're driving, I would really appreciate you guys driving out to this particular event. Dave & Buster's is a fun time. It's right on iDrive, so you can get in and out of Orlando pretty quickly. You know, if you're heading in. So yeah, that's the one to be at. This is our monthly advisor meeting, hosted by Florida Blue, or co-hosted by Florida Blue, and we'll be doing some great stuff too. Okay. Now, guys, we try to do as many of these trainings as we hear of, And, because we're centrally located in Orlando, when we see physical trainings, we're going to pop these in the training calendar. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do that for all markets across the country. We are now in 35 states. There's absolutely no way I'm going to be able to go through all of the local trainings in your market. However, if I see great virtual trainings, they're going to be listed here as virtual, and those are available to anyone outside of Orlando. However, I do recommend that when you see a training or you are working with a carrier specifically, please hook up with them, and they should be able to give you a link to their trainings and their training calendars in your local market, or at least connect with the sales managers in your market. So, for instance, if you're in Charleston, South Carolina, you're probably going to want to meet up with the Humana rep in Charleston, so you know what the heck's going on with Humana in Charleston. Same thing with WellCare or Clover or whatever's going on in those markets and those carriers that are there. I do recommend that if you want to get out and about and go to local trainings. Unfortunately, we're just not going to have the bandwidth to do that and carry all local trainings on this calendar. But because we have a very large group of Orlando agents, we pop in some important ones here. But these are not all of them, so just some important ones here, okay? All right. So that's with that. If you have any questions on that, please reach out to us and let us know. Very happy to help with that. Moving on to some admin stuff. I do want to remind you guys that I'm not the only one here. We've got an incredible team of team members here at HPM. And if you haven't seen this document, here it is. I'm going to also pop this link in the chat here, but it is available on your Gold Key. And I'm going to do both of those. So this is a direct link to your team that's available to you. Okay, it says all of our team members, some of them that I hope you know, and some maybe you don't. But quick intro here. I'm here as quality control. I'm trying to do my best to ensure that all the pieces and gears are moving, within the company, and also help with growth and expansion as well. You've got Sergio, who's our VP. He's in charge of our sales and marketing department. Nick Street, who was recently promoted to our director of marketing. He's in charge of all marketing across all markets now. We've got Victor and Lena as our sales managers. All of these folks are there to help you with your sales and marketing. Okay, these are our leaders for sales and marketing. Jonathan Minotti, recently promoted to our director of operations. He's going to be helping me with infrastructure and making sure all those gears and pieces and parts are moving as well. You've got Casey helping on the marketing team. She's helping with social media. She's also building the marketing catalog that I kind of sneak peeked to you guys. We're also going to be rolling that out soon. Liam Connor, our commission analyst. If you have any questions about commissions, I know some of you agency owners out there will be dealing with Liam on a more ongoing basis, because he also helps with agency commissions and things like that. But if you have questions about commissions, he's there as a resource. We've got the lovely Cindy Samuel, our administrator. Without her, I don't know where I would be. I'd be somewhere in Timbuktu, lost. We've got Jessica in charge of our contracting, and she is teamed up with Sam, who's also helping in our contracting as well. We've got Kim and Angela, our advisors, success leads. These are folks that can help you get what you need, okay? Kind of think about your air traffic controllers here. They're also going to be gearing up and helping you with managing your books of business. We'll talk more about that as we go forward. We've got the mighty Tom Ryan here to help with your development and coaching. He's teamed up with Al Clancy, our director of training and compliance. So remember that these guys are here for any compliance questions you might have, any training questions you might have. They're the dream team. So reach out to Tom and Al. They're there to help. You've got Fernando, who's taking our lead for automation and helping us with some integrations in our IT systems. And Gabe's overseeing our IT department in general. So if you have any issues with IT, there's your guy. So there's the team. Just want to go over them. We've made some very big strides and hired some new folks, and just wanted to make sure that you are aware of the people that are at your disposal here. So great team, and happy to share that with you as well. All right, moving on. Let's take a look at what's on the agenda today. Let's see here. We've got Okay. Oh, let's move over to Ambetter. So I'm going to start the call off a little bit different. We're talking about ACA here in a minute. Ambetter. All right. So Ambetter put out a notice in email for those of you that are doing ACA. This is pretty much in general. It's not really an Ambetter thing. It's a marketplace called the Family Glitch Fix, and we were able to get some more information on this. And so I want to share this with you because if you're doing ACA or thinking about doing ACA, this is an opportunity. All right, so pay attention here. All right, so Ambetter sent this out. It says the number of individual eligibles for marketplace coverage increases with the marketplace rule change. Until now, under the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, ACA, employer-sponsored coverage was considered affordable for all family members to whom an employer's offer extends if the premium for the employee's self-only coverage was considered affordable. I know that's a lot. I'm going to explain. The premium required to cover family members was not considered. The premium required to cover family members was not considered. That's the key point. This is the family glitch. Beginning plan year 2023, if an individual has an offer of employer-sponsored coverage that extends to their family members, the affordability of employer coverage for those family members will be based on the family premium cost, not the self-only premium cost. Family members will be eligible for financial assistance on Marketplace if the employee's family premium cost is considered unaffordable. Okay, there's a lot to digest on this. If you have questions to Ambetter, you can call them directly. If you're selling Ambetter, you got this email as well. So, you can check that out. But there is the family glitch here. And so I want to go through that with you. And here's some more details on that. So the new rule fixes the marketplace family glitch, increasing the number of individuals eligible for marketplace coverage in 2023. So we just talked about that. Now, the way that this works is for 2023, the family marketplace eligibility looks like this. An employer-sponsored plan, this is coming from their job, an employer-sponsored fam. So let's say we got dad's got a job, and let's say mom's got a job, and they've got 2 kids, okay? But they're using dad's insurance, okay? So let's just use that as a thing there. You've got, so here's the first scenario. The self-only premium is less than 9.12% of household income. So they're looking at it like dad got the coverage as if he's getting covered by himself, okay? The family premium is less than 9.12 of the household income. So now you're looking at 2 different pieces. How much does it cost for just that, head of household? And then how much does it cost for the family, okay? So if the employee does the employee have eligibility on the marketplace? No, because remember that the premium is less than 9.12%, so he's not eligible, right? So it's better to go with their self-employed coverage. Are the dependents eligible for marketplace coverage? No, because the family premium is less than 9.12%, okay? So none of them are eligible. Now, looking at the family glitch part of this is the middle and the bottom part of it, okay? The self-only, so in this example, dad's premium is less than 9.12% of the household income, but the family premium is more than 9.12% of the household income. So dad's not eligible, but the family is now, okay? So this means that he's still probably best on his employee insurance, but the family members are now eligible for financial assistance if otherwise eligible, which means they have an SEP. You can go find families, look at the formula. Is the family premium more than 9.12% of the household income? That's how you find an SEP for ACA right now. Okay, this is across the board for all of them, but Ambetter's putting this out. And then the last example is, obviously dad put somebody on this plan at work, but if he was to go on his own, the premium's more than 9.12% of his household income, and in the family, same thing, the premium's more. So all of them in that example, the employee and the family members are eligible for financial assistance, if not otherwise eligible. Okay, so here's the options for covering their family. The split coverage, which means the employer and marketplace. The employee could enroll in the affordable employer coverage, so they could stay at their work job insurance, while their family members enroll in marketplace with APTC or CSR if otherwise eligible. So advanced payment tax credits is basically what's happening there. So they can get credit to reduce the cost of their health insurance for the family only in that particular option. The second option, employee coverage only. The whole family could enroll in the employee's offer of employer-sponsored coverage. While someone is employed in employer coverage, they aren't eligible for financial assistance on marketplace plan. So they have to choose one or the other. They're going to go with, in that example, dad's work, or they're going to go on the marketplace, but they can't do both. Marketplace coverage only. Employee could decline the affordable employer coverage, and the whole family could enroll in a marketplace plan. They will pay full price for the employee's portion of the marketplace plan premium, while other family members' portions would be lowered by using APTC or the CSRs if they are otherwise eligible. Okay? So they have options. So if you run into anybody out there that's shopping or looking around for health insurance, obviously they have a need, right? They're not shopping for no reason. But if you bump into somebody and say, hey, is your income more than 9.1, or is your premium more than 9.12% of your household income? Yes or no? And that's how you're going to be able to find an SEP. Okay, so this is a really great little tool that you can use. Again, if you're selling Ambetter, you should have already gotten this in your email. If not, reach out to us, support@askhpm.com, and we're glad to help you find it. So there it is. All right. Also, there was a WellCare newsletter that went out too, and I want to share this with you. Moving over, because I guess we're talking a lot about Centene today. But what was interesting is they've made some changes to their agent of record and their agent of record promise. Okay, so I'm going to send out a link later on that's going to live in the Gold Key. But there is some opportunities here with agent of record that I want to make sure that you guys are aware of, to both protect your book of business, but also grow your book of business with WellCare with their agent of record. So I want to go through this, and we're going to do some research more and more about SEPs and or agent of records and growing your business with agent of records, because there's an opportunity there across a lot of carriers that you might not know, that you could bump into somebody on WellCare that says, hey, I don't have an agent, and you could become that agent and start receiving renewals on those folks. So let me repeat that. You can bump into some people that are on WellCare, and they can become your client. Okay. So I'm going to read this to you, and then I'm going to talk to you about, where you can get some more information on this. But here it is. Okay. The agent of record promise. We believe great partnerships are built on a foundation of trust and confidence. You can trust that we will protect your interests and not create barriers when offering WellCare. You can have confidence that when you speak, we listen. Our agent of record commitment recognizes that you work hard, deserve the commissions you earn, and we promise to protect your commissions for members you have enrolled. Okay. The agent of record promise. You can rest assured when an existing client makes a plan change by calling WellCare directly. Now they call WellCare. Your AOR status will remain unchanged. This means you will remain the agent of record and continue to receive renewal commissions on plan changes. Example, somebody calls in, they're newly eligible for Medicaid. They call, you enrolled them in a core plan years ago. Then they call WellCare they have to call WellCare, not Joe Namath, right? Not JJ. They call WellCare. When they call WellCare and they say, I have Medicaid now, they switch them to a DSNP, you remain agent of record. So that's the protections there. This even applies to plan changes for PDP and MAPD where applicable. The agent of record promise benefits your book of business year round, okay? The agent of record promise applies to, who does this apply to? Actively certified 1099 contracted agents at the time of the plan's members plan change, so you have to be active. All current and future WellCare MA, MAPD, or PDP members in your book of business. All plan changes facilitated through external WellCare appointed call center agent or agency. Examples of the AOR remain the same, and renewal commissions will be paid for the new plan as long as members remain active. Here's some examples. An existing member calls WellCare directly and changes from MAPD plan to a different MAPD plan. An existing member calls WellCare directly and changes from a PD plan to a different PDP plan. An existing member calls WellCare directly and changes from PDP to MAPD plan. A WellCare appointed call center calls a member to facilitate a plan change that benefits the member. A WellCare appointed call center, a member who is impacted by a service area or benefit reduction, and they select a new plan. So key there, if they call into WellCare or WellCare calls them, your AOR is protected. The agent of record promise does not apply. Now here's the double-edged sword. This could benefit you and this could harm you, so pay attention. If another active certified 1099 contracted agent facilitates a plan change, so they walk into a grocery store and there's a WellCare agent sitting right there and they're a broker and they make a change. You lost a member, okay? Or if you're that agent that's inside a grocery store and a WellCare member walks in and they have another agent and you switch their plan, you become agent of record. Okay? Double-edged sword. Examples of the AOR not remaining the same, and renewal commissions will be paid to the new agent of record for the new plan as long as the member remains active. So here's some examples where the agent of record would change. Now here's the opportunity, guys, okay? An existing member changes from a MAPD plan to a different MAPD plan facilitated by another active certified 1099 contracted agent. An existing member changes from a PDP to a different PDP plan using another broker, or an existing member changes from a PDP to an MAPD plan facilitated by another broker, okay? Now, on this specifically, there are a couple of documents I wanted to share with you. The first one is frequently asked questions. I'm not going to read through all of these, but there's also another way that you can do an agent of record change by not doing a plan change at all. So if you bump into a WellCare member and you're saying, hey, wow, you're on a really great plan, but do you have an agent? And they say, no, I don't. I want to stay on my plan and I want to become agent of record. How do you do that? Well, if you go into your WellCare portal, you can open up a ticket, and one of the drop downs on the ticket is going to say agent of record change. And there's a new form there that you will have to download and complete. They require a wet signature. So if you're there at your tabletop event, you can have them sign that agent of record change form and submit it in your WellCare portal. And you will start receiving the stream of renewals for that member on the first next payout cycle of the following month, okay? There are agents out there that are finding a bunch of orphaned WellCare members, or there are agents out there that are finding a bunch of WellCare members that, you know, were abandoned by their agent, or they haven't heard from their agent in years. This is a great opportunity to help our community get better service, remain on their plan, take care of WellCare members, create stickiness, and grow your book of business, okay? So later down the road, I'm gonna go ahead and send out an email with a step-by-step guide on how to change your agent of record. So all of you that are on the call today, look for that email for me, and I'll make sure to send that out to you as long as you're part of the HPM team. That's how we do it. Cool. All right, well, I hope that helps. This is a huge lifting point here. And we are pretty much out of time here. I've got a couple of questions here in the chat. So Lisa asks, will advisor trainings be held outside of Florida? I mentioned that earlier, so check the call on that. What if no plan change is done? The existing WellCare member wants to change AOR. We just talked about that. So there is a form in your WellCare portal, and I will send that out in an email, a step-by-step guide on how to do that. Mark asks, have you heard when AHIP opens? I don't have an exact date, Mark, but I do know it's June. It's coming soon. June, it's coming soon. So I would anticipate, I think last year it came out the second week of June. So we're within a month here of hitting that reset button and get things going. So I'm going to be looking for that email. Oh, George says, looks like June 21. Thank you, George. Appreciate that. That one slipped by me. So June 21 is a proposed date there. So maybe the third week of June. So second or third week is pretty much right when it comes out. And then carrier training usually doesn't start until after AHIP anyway. However, I did see that certain carriers like United Healthcare are sending out like study guides and things like that to get ready for their training session. And then as trainings roll out, guys, best practice. I know some of you have multiple carriers and it might seem very overwhelming when you start to get the emails for everything. Best practice is do them as they come out as quick as you can, okay? AHIP first, FFM training when that rolls out, that usually rolls out in July. Get those basic trainings done. And then as the carrier certifications roll out, if you have a book of business, come on, that's a no-brainer. Just recertify and get that done. Make sure that you get those trainings done as they come out. I would say if you can do at least one training a week, you have plenty of time to get it done before AEP. Some of you that have a lot more, or if you procrastinate, then that's going to hinder your ability to really suck in that information. Each training, each certification, on average takes about 2 hours. So make sure that you're, if you're really there to learn and make sure you understand what's changing in 2024, it's going to take about approximately 2 hours. Some are faster, some are longer, okay? All right. Now, we are going to be calling you for some of the events here that are coming up, including certification events, recertification events, and special events that have to do, across the board. So just make sure you pick up your phone or watch your text messages. We'll be doing that as well. Someone's asking, what is WellCare star rating? That's a loaded question, Will. Star ratings vary across products and across markets. So WellCare is in, I think, all 50 states now with some type of product. So depending on where you're selling, it depends on the star ratings. You can find star ratings at Medicare.gov or in our very own Medicare shop quote and enroll tool. There you have it. They do vary by PPO, HMO, DSNP. Those are different flavors, so the star ratings do change within that. Okay. Do you know what a UHC early certification? Again, Elisa, I was saying that it's not really an early certification. It's like a study guide. I don't think they can actually physically launch the certification until after AHIP rolls out because it requires you to complete AHIP to get into the certification, or you can do their certification link in there as well. Okay. All right. Okay, guys. I hope this helps. We're going to have some fun stuff for next week. Elise is also saying, I wonder how without AHIP. Yeah, there may be an early entry if you're going to bypass AHIP. But if you're doing other carriers, I just recommend that you wait until AHIP's done because you're going to save yourself about an hour and a half of training session there. So I know some carriers have their own basic training. Just make sure that if you're going to do that, you're going to have to still take the AHIP for all the other carriers too. So might as well just do the AHIP. So just hang back, wait till you get your AHIP done, and then go fast with these certifications. Again, averaging about 2 hours or so on these certification costs training sessions. So thank you guys very much for being here today. We were a little bit over time. I really appreciate your time and attention. Remember, these are being recorded. If you have any questions at all, we're here to help you. 844-696 3975. Please give us a call, or you can shoot us an email at support@askhpm.com. Thank you for being here. Go out there and help our community and have a fantastic day.